You. Hi, welcome to Watercooler. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know how the show goes. Hi, Chris Locks. I'm on a kick it with my old digital buds from back in the day. You all the way in Austin, Texas, Mr. Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Hi, Matt. And
Hey,
also in Orange County, California, we got Gary Smith.
Sup, Scuttlebutts?
Oh,
Yeah.
time. Kalen is busy, and so is Dawson. So we are just going with the key three right now. But
Key
It feels good.
baby.
It feels good. Feels
the
right.
key three, the OG three.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. The OG three. I mean, you guys, when I first started working at Corolla, you two were the other two. It was us three running the place back in the day. So yeah, it's good to be back. Just us. You know, we don't need the other fluff. That
I'll cough into the microphone a couple times. How's that?
Oh.
Don't worry, Stacy.
Are you Stacy, Matt? I'm wondering. That was very Stacy.
No, because I'm second in line in terms of coughing. I'm like not far behind him, and I apologize for my part in that.
All good. So anyway, we'll hear from the guys later, maybe next week. So, all right, a lot to get into today. First off, Gary texted me. He said he ran into a fan of this very podcast. This was what he said. He said, ran into a fan on Friday, took this fan out to lunch on Sunday. I guess that's what Gary does. I like this. What happened?
Met the fan for the first time? They just like won the fan lottery?
So, yeah. Okay. So, going back like 6 years or so, when my wife was pregnant, a fan sent a care package to the Corolla studios, and in it was like all kinds of like Johnson & Johnson stuff, Neutrogena stuff, like all these different products that were good for babies. And this fan sent a note that said, you know, hey, I work at this company, so I have a bunch of these products, and I thought this might be really helpful. I know you have a baby on the way.
Oh, good.
Good luck.
Ooh. I wasn't sure if they knew or not.
Yeah,
right.
that would make it.
There was a moment where I was like, that's a weird gift.
Yeah,
But,
totally.
okay, they knew you were expecting a baby.
They knew. And it was funny because at the time it came to the Corolla studios, but the return address was the mailbox, like local mailbox store, you know, like the store where you can mail stuff out and they have PO boxes and stuff. It's in the shopping center across the street from my neighborhood. And I noticed that because it was, you know, it's not often that you see my little hometown. So I kind of clocked that and I was like, oh, wow. So this guy must sort of live near where I live now. And I think he sort of knew that I was living in the same area or whatever. But, you know, I thanked him on the air, I think. And I think I wrote him a note and said thank you. It was very generous, but just kind of went on with my life. And then on Friday, I was driving around town. I had just gotten some work done on my car and I was headed home, and I stopped by the local like gas station. I wanted to get a drink. And as I walked up to the front door, there was another guy walking up at the same time, and I held the door open for him, and he went in and got in line. And then I went in and got in line behind him, and he kind of like double took and did a look over the shoulder and kind of looked me up and down. And I clocked that. It was a weird thing. So I was like, okay, hold on. Maybe this guy's going to recognize me. And then he sort of did it again and looked at my feet. And I didn't realize what was going on there at the time. But he then said, are you Gary? And I said, yes. And he said, do you remember the box with all of the products that somebody sent you? That was me. And the reason he had looked at my feet is because, unbeknownst to me,
how smooth your skin was with all that skin treatment he sent.
Well, I was wearing my Bald Brian socks, which is unusual. But for some reason, I was like working around the house that day.
The Bald Brian socks, we all got a pair for Christmas. Bald Brian gave us all a pair of socks, bright blue socks, just covered in his face.
Yeah, and I now have ones of my son and my animals and stuff as well. But for some reason, I was working around the house that day and I was wearing the Bald Brian socks. And when he saw those, he said that he had the confidence to, you know, and he was a very nice guy. His name's Dave. And he, you know, we made small talk and, you know, chatted a little bit. And then he, you know, was putting some gas in his car and he kind of split and went our separate ways. I said goodbye to him and I got in my car and I kind of walked off. And like 20 minutes later, I was like, you know, this guy lives nearby me. Like, I probably should have just gotten his number and like see if he wants to, like, I don't know, maybe go grab a beer or something. Like,
Yeah.
he did that nice thing for me. Like, that would have been nice for me to do.
But
And
you're in luck because via the water cooler, you got the palgorithm, baby.
Yep.
exactly. Well, we also follow each other on Twitter, and he tweeted it out shortly thereafter, and it hit my mentions. So I hit him up and said, "Hey, man, if you want to grab lunch, let's try to work something out." Sure enough, we settled on Sunday, and we got together for 2 hours and had a couple beers and had some burgers, and it was a grand old time. It was super fun.
I'm glad you could do that. I find a lot of people this age, I've seen it firsthand, where they just kind of look around like, I got enough friends. I've done it. I'm not interested in making new friends. I mean, Matt's a different case because he's moved to a different
Yeah.
part of town.
Try moving to a new city. Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like, I already got the people I like, and it just becomes harder to invite people in your life and hang out with them and do that. And I'm glad that you haven't gone there yet.
Yeah, it seemed this guy has gone so far out of his way to do a nice thing for me that it only seemed reasonable to, like, we live in basically the same neighborhood. He told me that he kind of lived across the street from the gas station where we met. So we live very close to each other. We're about the same age. At the time that I met him at the gas station, he was decked head to toe in USC gear. So clearly we have that in common. So it's just like an easy thing. And, come to find out he's, within a few years of our age, and he has a couple of kids. So like there's plenty in common. And, his wife went to the school that my son will start going to next year as a child. So like we have a deep Orange County kind of connection, and he lives nearby. And I, frankly, don't have many friends that live nearby where I live. I have all my friends sort of scattered out because, as Chris said, like it is hard and, not necessarily the easiest thing to make new adult friends. I hear that gets easier as kids get older and you start being kind of put into these situations with other adults that have kids the same age as you.
There's also this website you might want to try out. It's called adultfriendfinder.com.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've looked into that.
Oh,
I haven't.
wait, say that site again, Matt.
It could be
Say the
really
site again.
helpful. Adultfriendfinder.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have an account on there, Matt? Can I find you on there?
Absolutely not. Of course, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, it was nice.
Chris, don't look that up, Chris. That'll be in your URL. Your wife will be upset.
And I will say, Dave came through with another giant bag of Neutrogena shit and all this stuff for me, which was really nice. He apparently, just gets a ton of this product. So he is like desperately looking for people to kind of pawn it off
Hey,
on.
Dave, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, seriously.
Let's go.
Mail it to the Corolla studio or something. But yeah, it's
I have epidermis.
But yeah, it was super nice, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do it again sometime. But we just sat and talked, and we found stuff in common. It was a good time. It was unusual. It was kind of it's not something I have done in quite a while, like meeting a new adult for a long lunch. But it was a good time.
Yeah, like Matt, how did you meet your friends out in Austin?
Let's see. A couple of them have been through just going to like a networking type event, which is kind of a lame thing, but honestly, just chatting with people that way.
And you just like, you have a drink in your hand, you see people at a table, like, hey, mind if I sit here?
Yeah, honestly, like my friend I mentioned before, who's literally a rocket scientist. He's a rocket scientist. He had a crazy mustache. He had like like one of those full on, I don't know what they're called, but like the full on like Snidely Whiplash like little loop on
That's
it.
what it is.
Is that what it's
Snidely
called?
Whiplash.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's the
and I
scientific
just
term.
The dude was just drinking whiskey and had a crazy mustache, and that was my icebreaker, was asking him about that. We ended up becoming great friends.
Okay.
Also, another one of my closest friends was dating a girl that my wife met under similar circumstances. So it helps to have somebody with you who's also trying to meet new people,
Yeah. Look, meeting new people at this age, for one, like, typically for us, we're three married men. We're not
Not
gonna
to each other.
No, to each other in a way too.
We could be.
We certainly can. Some countries. It's for instance, if it was a female, it's not really appropriate for us to right?
Yeah, no,
Like,
Joya wouldn't have been stoked if I told her I was going to have lunch, a long
right.
lunch with a female water cooler fan. I don't think that would have necessarily flown.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a total that I think that's just inappropriate for our culture to be doing something like that. Um, for a guy, I don't know why it's so weird to do that too. Like I went out with some people a few weeks ago, and one of the guys, like, we were just, man, we really connected. Our jokes, our references. And at the end of the night, it's like, hey, you on Instagram? Yeah, yeah, me too. Hey, like, let me just get your number. It's like we got something going on. Yeah, yeah, we did. We had something going on there. And
Yeah.
yeah, and there you go. It's just like that. It felt good. It felt good, but it's still weird. It's still weird. I don't know.
We've
Uh,
my wife and I, we don't have kids, so you guys both have the luxury of meeting parents of other
mm,
children. But I will say, for our part, we do have the dogs,
Luxury.
and we go to this awesome dog park that I've told you guys about before. It's like a bar slash dog park, and that's another way that I have met several people that are among my closest friends out here. Because even though it would be harder to meet them at a regular bar, the fact is, our dogs start playing with each other, just like your kids would start playing with another kid on the playground. And it's just an instant icebreaker to talk to somebody. And you start
yes.
seeing them over and over again at the playground, or in our case, the dog park bar. And next thing you know, like, it's like, hey, why don't you guys bring the dog over to our yard, and like, let's just hang out in the backyard and we'll just play board games and chill. So
Right.
it's like that has become a great way to meet people as well.
Just don't be shady. Don't
No,
seem
totally.
shady.
Yeah.
Now, you're right. The way kids meet each other, it is it is a cool thing. Like, they can just go up to each other and just, like, I went out with some friends, and they have like a 3 or 4 year old girl, and we were at a shopping center, and they had the, the Bellaterra, Gary, where they had they have this like courtyard, where you could, like, with AstroTurf, and kids are running
Yeah.
around, and like, so she's just running around. She goes up to a stranger, just like, tag, you're it, and then they just hung out. They were playing like the rest of the day. Like, that's all it took.
That's what I did at the dog park
That is
bar.
Matt's move. That is
Yeah,
Matt.
I
That's
just
actually,
said tag, you're it.
it was weird when you did that with your coworkers the first day. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
Matt, I get it. We're gonna be working together. It's weird that I'm sitting next to you. Will you stop?
I
No, I'm not gonna sit within striking distance.
And
It
not
ended up
tag me.
working.
Tag me right back.
We all started a business together, so I guess Matt's really the innovator.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is all Matt's doing. Yes. Um, Speaking of dogs, Matt. So I know you don't have kids. You have dogs. Do you ever do that thing? Because I got this a lot um, when I had my kid. Was my friends that didn't have kids but they had pets? They were like, oh, like, I would tell a story about my kid, and they would tell a similar story but with their dog. Now, like, oh yeah, well, my dog did this, and it's like, I know it's not, you can't really compare apples to apples when you do it, but
Right,
I
because
can
dogs are better than kids.
because dogs are better than kids. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. So I'm like, they're just
Yeah,
trying to one up me all the time,
Exactly.
all the time. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I just noticed that was kind of like the through line, though. It's like, oh yeah, I have something that I care about so much.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, I don't have I don't have a little kid to come in and tell hilarious jokes on our show like Gary has, and it's incredible when that happens. But
aristocrats.
I've got a fucking video of my dog swimming in the pool, and sure, someone in our group chat is going to text something else that's more important. But like,
Did
I'm
you?
gonna
Yeah.
be
Did
on
you
the
send that
record.
to us? I don't remember. I don't remember.
I think we've discouraged Matt. He slowed down on the dog
Yeah.
videos, but yeah, I mean, but look, it's like the thing with kids though is that you call it a luxury, but every now and then your friend makes your kid will make friends with somebody who you absolutely don't want to spend time with the parents, and sometimes that's just the case. So it cuts both ways. But
Yeah. How are you gauging the kids that your son is going to be hanging with? Like, how are you?
I mean, look,
checking in?
it's
Like, are you doing like what they did on that Big Daddy scene, or it's like, you like rum? Rumpelstiltskin?
Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm at the preschool, twice a week, trying to get kids to smoke dope. That's pretty much it. No, I mean, look, you end up at events for these things. These kids end up doing, a recital of some sort, and you end up sitting in the audience, and you end up sitting with the family, of the kids you're friends with. And you end up going to Halloween and stuff like that. And just, you end up meeting these people, and it's like some of them you get on with, some of them, maybe not, but everyone makes nice for the kids' sake.
Well, I can't wait to meet Dave. I think
Yeah.
Matt can't wait either.
Dave actually spent some time living in Long Beach. He said he was kind of surprised that he's never crossed paths with you, but maybe we'll get him out for a golf outing or something.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I could use another round in my life. All right. So look, we got some seggies. We got things to get into. Gary actually had something else happen to him that wasn't as cool.
No, definitely not as cool.
He has what?
Dave, I can certify Dave way cooler than this.
What happened?
I was sitting in my friend's office at work. I had just given him his birthday gift a few days early that he was, you know how sometimes you give a gift and the person reacts exactly how you wanted, or maybe even bigger, and they're just like they do such a good job at being excited about the gift that it like makes it 10 times more fulfilling for you. I gave this guy a gift. It was a group gift from 3 people to 1, and I thought he was gonna like it, but he geeked out like a fucking teenager. He was so excited. So we were all sitting around, and me and my friend.
Watercooler Patreon subscription.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Wait,
me and my friend
what's the gift?
It was a pebble ice maker, like those.
Oh yeah.
Top.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice. Very nice. Hot.
It was awesome. And
Costco?
I got this one off Amazon, but they make them at Costco. They sell them at Costco for sure. But
Pebble Ice is a superior ice, right?
it really is. It's pretty great, especially for an office setting. It was a cool little addition to his office. It fit in perfectly, and he was super geeked about it. So we were all sitting around and enjoying that. One of my other friends who went in on the gift was sitting there with me, and it was really funny because every single time it would make new ice, it would drop and make a sound, and he'd get all excited and like get up and go over, like, look how much more ice. Like he was super. It was really silly. It was funny and stupid. He's since texted us pictures of how much ice there is. He's geeked over this thing.
Oh, he can have all the ice he wants now. So many
I know. It was really funny. And so at some point I looked down and I realized my alarm on my car had been triggered. Now that was obviously not a welcome discovery, but
because you drive a Tesla and the Teslas send it to your phone because they have sensors all and cameras all around the car, right?
Correct. They have an app. And luckily, unfortunately, because we had been all like kind of enjoying this, I hadn't really been paying that close of attention to my phone. So I noticed it, and it said like alarm is triggered 15 minutes ago. So all I could really do at that point, because my car is in a garage a couple of blocks away, was I fired up the Tesla app and I looked at all the cameras, and everything looked okay. It'd been 15 minutes. There was no one around. I couldn't see any physical damage to the car. So whatever, like, okay, no big deal. I guess I'll figure it out when I get back there. And when I got back to my car a few hours later at the end of the day to go home, I discovered that, well, I didn't discover it first. I noticed that my front license plate, which usually sits, upright up against the front bumper of my car, I have a special like little bracket for it that holds it upright. So it sits about an inch in front of the bumper, but it was no longer standing upright. It was like tilted down like this at like a 45-degree angle. Oh. And I looked at that and I thought, God, that sucks. That's annoying. And I got in my car, and because of all the cameras, I have an HD video recording of the person who attempted to rip my fucking front license plate off my car and achieved the breaking of the bracket that usually holds it. So now I've got this fucking license plate hanging on for dear life. And
maybe his name was Joe. Maybe he was cool Joe.
Yeah, who was this guy?
It was someone who looked very down on their luck.
I would imagine so. I don't think it'd be.
But they were trying to make a quick buck with a license plate.
I don't know what the game plan was here, Matt. This person didn't exactly look like a Rhodes Scholar. Like maybe they just, I don't know, wanted to fuck someone's day up. I have no idea what the game plan was, but it appears that when the alarm finally went off on the car, they got scared and left. So my license plate's still there, but it is hanging on by a thread now, and it's very frustrating. Damn. Now I have to buy a new mount, and it's just annoying.
What the heck? Why are people trying? Is that a thing, stealing the front license plate? Because a guy in my work who works with me now, his first week, his front license plate was stolen because he parked on, on Cosmic, that small road. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I guess for people who are going to commit crimes, maybe it's valuable to have a license plate that is not your own that you can
Burner
put on your
plate.
car.
A
So
burner
that
plate, you can do shady stuff, and then nobody could find you because you have a different license plate.
maybe, but I mean, this gentleman, I mean, I'm making assumptions, but I don't think this gentleman had a car to put a license plate on. I mean, from what I saw, he was living out of the 3 suitcases that he had with him, and that so I don't know. Maybe he thought he could sell it to a criminal and make a little money that way. I really don't
But of
Little
know.
all the cars
shade.
to take it
Little
from,
s-
why yours? Like, I would take it from if I were doing this, I wouldn't pick a Tesla.
Yeah, and also I have not vanity, but I have plates that are not the normal general white and blue
Oh, right.
California plates. I have the black and yellow ones, which are much more rare and would stick out more. So I don't understand exactly what the game plan was here,
What is it?
and I don't know. But it was very frustrating and annoying. At least there was no further damage to my car, and
Yeah, that's
ultimately
good.
it's just a pain in the ass. It's not. No one really got hurt or
Right.
anything.
Look, I'm surprised like license plates, especially front license plates, are still like a thing. Like I see people with those paper plates all the time. It's just a piece of plate paper, and it's like the bottom always gets unhooked on the like in the back plate, so the paper just flaps up, and you just see
Yep,
the bottom side of the paper the whole time they're driving on the freeway.
Yeah.
You know, you'll
totally,
never even know. Like it could literally be 2 middle fingers, and I wouldn't even know, nor would the
totally.
police. Like I don't like. It just seems like such a step backwards with technology and protocol and just where we are as a society. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna move to paper plates. Like, yeah, we're thinking of digital, but nah, let's go paper and let's not hook it up right.
Well,
So
I will
it's
say
just
that
flappy.
the one thing that they have sort of moved kind of in another direction is now I see a lot of the front sticker plates, which are ugly as shit.
Right.
Those ones don't flap around and they look really stupid, but I guess no one can
It's like a
steal
bumper
it.
sticker license plate.
Basically, it's like it looks like the California plate and it's a sticker and you just put it right onto the front bumper of your car. They're hideous.
Jesus.
Yeah. It just seems like such a backward system. And like your registration stickers, they're just these little stickers, and yet they're so valuable. And that's
See, you guys got to come out here to Texas because the registration sticker is something that's on the inside of the vehicle, like in the kind of bottom left-hand corner of the front,
I like that
like
better.
front windshield. And it's
Yeah.
a little sticker, but you just replace that thing, just peel it out once you're inside of your car. So the only way to take it would be to like actually break into somebody's car.
A lot of states do it that way. I think that's way smarter.
Yeah,
Right?
for me, like I have to take this little sticker, stick it. Do you take off the old sticker, Gary, or you just stick it on top of the old stickers?
You stick it on top of the old sticker and then you take a razor blade and you have to like make
You
cuts in it.
score it. Yeah.
You score it so that if anyone tries to rip it off, they can only get a little section. It's annoying. It's very
It's
annoying.
sad. Sad and annoying. Yeah, having to take a razor blade and just score your registration sticker
Listen, it
crisscross.
happened to me. I had registration stickers stolen on multiple occasions, including
Really?
and oh, it was a topic of Corolla show for sure. It happened parking in that neighborhood, probably on Cosmic.
Yeah. I had my catalytic converter stolen. Jenny's had hers stolen.
I had mine stolen.
We've all had ours stolen. Yeah, it's people just want our stuff. You got to protect it. I should have scored my catalytic converter. Probably would have just shattered into pieces once they grabbed it. But it's a hot button issue here, Matt. So maybe you did make the right choice.
An
I
actor,
feel pretty
a
confident I
soap
did.
opera actor, was murdered recently in downtown LA trying to stop someone from stealing a catalytic converter.
Oh my god.
Yep. Crazy.
Cat Con's gonna be a little sad this year.
Dude, it's super sad. Yeah, CatCon is
Gonna be a lot of cons at CatCon Con.
freaking A, man. So speaking of gifts, I got Adam a gift, Corolla, for his birthday.
did?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My surprise in that statement is that I've been burned by that so many times. I thought we all learned not to do that anymore.
I'll get him. I usually get him a gift for his birthday, but so 2 weeks ago.
It was a big birthday, right? Wasn't he turning 60?
Yeah. So it's a
Oh,
big
wow.
one, big monumental milestone. And he's telling me a story about how he was doing an interview, a remote interview with his AirPods. And by the way, to all you celebrities listening, using AirPods for your remote interviews suck. I don't know why they haven't figured it out yet, but AirPods don't translate well into audio as far as like Zoom goes. The wired headsets are great, actually. If you can do the wired headsets, those are a lot more clear.
We're gonna do a tech talk soon, and that might be getting cleared up.
Okay. Yeah, but for some reason, AirPods, whenever we have guests that have AirPods in and they're using them, I ask them to take them off. I'm like, the audio sucks. Don't use them. Anyway, but Adam still does it because ease of use, right? So he's doing an interview and he's like, yeah, I put the AirPod in, and then I just hear a doo doo doo, and I go, oh, low battery, and he goes, yeah, but it should still give me like 10 minutes when it does it. It just died right there. I'm like, well, maybe it did. I don't know. I didn't want to question it more, but Adam having his tech issues, whatever. I understand it. So, and he has the old AirPods, not like the newer ones.
He doesn't have the pros. He has the long stemmed originals.
Right. So I got him from pros.
Wow.
I just went for it. I'm like, dude, here, take these, go live an easier life, go forth and do all the interviews you want now.
Is that going to sound better too?
No.
Yes.
Oh, it will? Okay, maybe.
I mean, it won't sound good, but it'll sound better.
But and they'll work, which is nice. They're still supported. And he said when he got it, he's like, this is the best gift I got for my birthday. Thank you.
Wow.
Like, hey,
Very nice of you, Chris. That's an expensive gift.
Expensive gift. I'll explain why in 3 weeks. But so I gave him the gift, and he's like, this was the best birthday gift I could have had. To this day, he's still using the old ones. And I don't know. I'm like, bro, I see you every day.
Didn't he have this whole thing about his dad in a car?
Yes.
He gave his dad a car, and then he would go to his dad's house, and his dad wasn't driving the car. You have to tell him this is the same exact thing.
Well, I don't even want to do that. I'm just like, all right, I did everything I could. Your AirPods will die on all your remotes, fine. But he has, I just see it. Every day he just sets his stuff down on the table, the old AirPods. I'm like, it's so easy to connect AirPods to your phone, man. You just have to lift the lid up, and then it's like, you want these ones? Sure. Then you go and live your life.
I may have told this story before, and I'm not intending to be a one-upper here, but let me just yes and you with another story, which is within the first year of working for Corolla, that Christmas, I was producing Ace on the House, and I got Adam and Ray Christmas ornaments that were like home improvement themed Christmas ornaments, and Adam opened it up like in the middle of the shop, and by complete freak accident, he dropped it, and it shattered right in front of me, and he just looked at me and he went, I was gonna throw it away later anyway, and then he threw it away. And that was that.
Yeah, so Gary, I'm sure that Pebble Ice thing felt pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah, it was. I will say that it was a much better. They're certainly better than any reaction I ever got giving a gift to my former boss.
It is hard to get gifts for him, though. We're just, people who you just think, oh, they have everything. They could get anything they want.
Right. And that's the recipient of the Pebble Ice thing is another one of these guys who has pretty much everything. And he even self-admitted as he was like enjoying this gift, he was like, I'm impossible to buy gifts for. Like, because this guy's got some cash. He's had some success in his life, and anything he wants, he just gets. So it's like, whatever. But watching him really enjoy it and geek out every time it would drop more ice, it was really, really funny.
What is a good gift to give like guys like us? Like if their spouse or their parents were like, oh yeah, we want to get you something for your birthday or something. What is something that you would ask for that you think, for other listeners to think that they could ask for, that they would want?
This is like gift cards. Those are my top two.
What was it?
Booze and gift cards.
Booze and gift cards.
With which to buy
and
booze.
Gift cards. Yeah. I'm so done with booze. I have so much booze. I have way too many booze, man. I guess I don't drink that much, but we were trying to empty my liquor cabinet out, and Jen's like, "Could I throw this bottle away?" It's like, it's half full, or half empty in her case because she's trying to throw away. Which like, look, it's just getting too crowded here. You don't drink that much. I'm like, I'm gonna drink that. And I would just take it and I pour myself a glass. just out of spite because I didn't want her to throw it away. But man, I still have booze from like 3 Christmases ago that people gave me.
Oh,
Well,
I have a lot longer than
glad to
that.
see it's still in good storage. Glad I spent that money.
Yours were delicious. I finished all yours, man. And Gary too. You just gave me a bottle. It was very nice. It was fantastic. But it's just I don't know. I think I think I have too much booze, but I can just regift it. Not that I would any of the bottles you guys gave me, but I think I
I know.
could because I totally know which ones.
I don't think there's anything wrong with regifting booze. I mean, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, regifting booze and also and using the same gift bags too was always nice.
Yeah, totally.
Like Gary
I was-
gave me a gift bag not that long ago.
That was a
It
new
had-
gift bag.
It I know, but what I'm saying is though, it had a one of those tags on the rope handle, not even filled out,
Didn't fill it out.
perfectly empty. That's a good gift.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'll just be real about it because I bought that gift bag at the store when I bought you the bottle, and I wanted you to be able to reuse it if you wanted to. So I was very
Brilliant.
not filling that out.
Yeah. So so pro tip for everybody if you're doing that, don't fill out the tag. Don't do anything to mark the bags. Let everybody reuse them. We're saving trees. Nobody's gonna care if you reuse them, and just and let's kill the gift bag industry together. Is that's what I'm trying to say. That's what we have to do. All right, you guys want to do some comments?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yeah, sure.
It's time for listener comment.
All right, and these are all comments delivered to us by you, the listeners, and we appreciate you listening. We have such a great community here, and there are a few different communities or ways you can join in on the fun. One of the ways is going on Patreon. We do an extra Patreon episode every week, along with other extracurriculars like a movie night. We just did the movie, the cinematic classic 65, and then we also do meetups. We do a lot of stuff. So Patreon.
Plus, you get these shows ad free.
You get these shows, ad free, so you don't have to hear the commercials. It's just a wonderful experience for all. So patreon.com/watercooler for as little as $5 every month. Boom. You don't even notice it. What is it? It's a coffee. It's a cup of coffee. It's 1 cup of coffee.
Yeah. It's a tip. It's a delivery tip.
It's a delivery tip.
Delivering content to your brain.
So this is these are all comments found from our last episode, Broasted, from the ad-free version. Let's see here. David Mammoth 69 Smith says, "Who could ever forget the great beer mid debacle?" Well, David, we haven't.
Never forget.
And I don't think our story has been has been told correctly. I could see some sort of documentary in 20 years, maybe, just to get the story right. That I see that in the
I
future.
don't know if we need to wait that long. Probably do it a touch sooner.
Right.
I definitely have in my my audio yearbook where I would keep clips of different appearances on the Corolla show, and I absolutely have that 20-minute rant session that we all received. I haven't listened back on it, but
No, I don't.
that
We
was a
don't need
tough
to.
one. Yeah, that was a tough one.
David we actually read it. David Adele, excuse me. David Adele. He says, more quips from Norm Peterson of Cheers. Woody, what's shaking, Normie? Norm, 2 cheeks and a couple of chins.
Good.
And then another one is Sam says, how's the world treating you, Norm? Norm, like a baby treats a diaper. So, couple, so there you go. Norm quotes. Stacy Smith, as previously mentioned. She says, Dawson, it feels wrong to do it with Dawson not here.
I'll allow it.
She says, Dawson, I don't know if you're embarrassing yourself more on this show or ASC, but keep it up. Oopsies, ACS. Now I'm embarrassed. LOL is the next comment there.
Oh,
So
there you
she's
go.
corrected herself. Look, Stacy, you got ahead of yourself. You got ahead of yourself.
The flurry with which she must have posted and
Yeah.
clicked send just couldn't even take a moment to reread it.
The flurry rate was quite
Yeah.
high. Far too high, Stacy. You need
It's
to
got to
slow
be
down.
ASC.
Take a breath.
It's got to be ASC just based purely on audience size, right?
Possibly. Sharon says, Dawson is the only one that says my name correctly, but I would like one of those nicknames. How else am I supposed to say Sharon? Sharon? What? Sharen? Am I saying
Sharon.
it incorrectly?
You're saying the way you're saying it makes me think O-N as opposed to E-N.
Sharon?
Sharon.
I'm saying Sharon. Is that Sharon? No, I'm doing it with the upside down E, which kind of covers the O or the E. You know, Matt knows. The upside down E? Sharon. Yeah.
Sharon is
But yeah, she wants a nickname. Well, Dawson's not here, so no nickname for you at the moment. So I was speaking of no nickname for you. A friend texted me a TikTok of this Filipino restaurant out in like Artesia or something that's going viral because I just had such a wide selection of Filipino food. And he's like, "Hey, have you ever been here?" Because of course he sees that he wants to hit me up. The pro.
He's got to ask.
The pro. I tell him I didn't. I haven't been there yet because I looked at Yelp and the reviews weren't stellar. Like
What does that mean?
It's a 3.5 star restaurant. On
No.
Yelp.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Or is that Gary says no.
Gary says no. I say go for it.
Matt says go for it. It's like yellow. 3.5 stars is yellow.
Here's the thing though.
Yellow means proceed with caution.
3.75. We can talk. 3.5.
Matt, it's okay for Shay. It might get Michelin stars.
mean,
No bound.
It just depends on what you're going for. Like, if you were going for a place that was claiming to be a fine dining restaurant and then it had a 3.5 star, I would not go there. But I'm trying to be sensitive.
But,
here. I feel like there's certain cultural foods.
What's your freaking flurry
Okay,
rate?
it could be
Go.
there's certain cultures of foods where maybe it's not going to be the fanciest thing ever, and that's okay because it can still taste really good. You guys
Like
know what I'm saying?
What cultures?
Like Mexican food. There's a lot of Mexican places I've had 3.5 stars. I'm in.
Hey,
Thai
Matt.
food places. I'm in. I'm gonna
But what?
stop.
But
Hey,
what
Matt.
cultures wouldn't you?
Hold on 1 second, Chris. I got to put this on the record. Matt, no, I don't know what you're saying. Absolutely not.
We're not recording this, right?
I love it.
You guys know what I'm saying. Come on. Come on.
It's I don't know what you're saying either. For the record,
I don't know.
when the stenographer types this transcript out, I, Chris Loxamana, also don't know what you're talking about, Matt.
I, Gary Smith, do not know what you were talking about either, Matt Fondelier.
But yeah, so 3.5 is below my threshold too. For all cultures, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, look, all cultures matter, Chris. I think that we're very squarely on the record with that one. At least 2/3 of us.
But so I told my buddy that, and he's like, "Oh, I don't pay attention to that anymore." I'm like, "You don't pay attention to Yelp?" I put too much stock into Yelp and what they tell me. Yelp could tell me to eat a pile of horse dung. Feels like 5 stars. Like, this is really good. I'm like, all right, I'll give a bite. So
I mean, I'm not commenting on that last statement, but I will say that I was talking to somebody today about my upcoming European vacation, and Yelp is just not a thing in Europe.
Yeah,
and
true.
That's tough. That's a tough break for somebody who relies thoroughly on Yelp to make sure that it's going to be at least 3.5 stars depending on culture.
Does TripAdvisor not fucking translate over to restaurants?
Yeah, TripAdvisor. No, I use TripAdvisor instead. But
yeah, so
even that though is a little tough. Like if you are going to just wing it. Like that was the problem that we had. When we arrived in Florence, we did not have a plan that night, and I just thought, I can just kind of find something. And TripAdvisor does not work the way that Yelp does in that sense. I don't think we had a really hard time. It was a bummer.
yeah, no, I have thoughts on that because I went to Italy for my honeymoon.
Wait,
You did?
what?
Yeah, gosh, I can't believe I even spoke about it.
I mean,
yet,
by
so.
now, I feel like you would have mentioned this.
I know. I'm surprised it hasn't come up either.
That's so weird.
But I went to Italy and I used Yelp a lot, and I have thoughts on that. But first, so I told my friend 3.5 is below my threshold, and he goes, "Look, what Yelp rating do you think the soup Nazi would have got on Seinfeld?" And I thought about it, like, yeah, there's no way the soup Nazi would get anything higher than 3.5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
People would have such a bad experience, but the soup is so good that you put up with it. But still, Like, yeah, and I try to think, what would that Yelp rating be? And so maybe I am putting too much stock into Yelp. Now, as far as Europe goes, I used Yelp a lot when I was in Italy. And
For restaurants.
for restaurants, yeah. But here's the thing. I found almost all of them were just American tourists writing a review on Yelp, right?
Right.
Like, I don't know what the locals are using, what service they're using to do this. But so I was just getting the American tourist version. And compared to TripAdvisor, which TripAdvisor seems to have a lot more reviews, like I would go to a restaurant that had over 1,000 reviews on TripAdvisor and like 30 on Yelp.
How do you guys feel about the concierge?
Don't trust them.
See, I like it. I'm a big fan because if it sucks, that guy's going to be standing there when I come back from dinner, and I'm going to give him a piece of my mind.
That's good. I feel like I don't utilize them enough, and I should more.
Yeah,
I think for me, I because of the times that I haven't had it well planned, and I've had kind of a rougher go at it. I now take extra time to plan a lot of stuff out so that I don't know if I necessarily need the concierge because there's less time in my itinerary for something totally random and unexpected. But maybe that's not the right way to plan a vacation.
I think, yeah. And Matt, I wouldn't, if I were you, I would, if you're going to be staying in one place for like 3 days, maybe don't plan out that like last dinner or second to last dinner and just roll in and be like, not tonight, but this night in the future, I want a spot that's going to blow my mind. And this is what I'm kind of looking for. And then sort of trust that guy or that lady to sort of help guide you because they're going to come up with spots that you might not find on your own.
I think I am under the impression that they're paid and bought.
Yeah, that's a worry,
right?
Sure.
Like, so it's go to you want some real authentic Italian food? There's this place called Buffalo Wild Wings. It's at the corner. You're gonna love it. It's that's why I don't trust them. I just think that they're bought, and they get money for references, and it becomes insincere at that point.
What you're saying is they put the con in concierge.
Yeah, exactly. They're
going to get in that
concierge. Yeah. So I don't know. So maybe that's why maybe I should trust them, but it just feels as if I don't know. It just feels disingenuous. But well, I don't know. I'll put up to the crew, the army. Let me know what you think. All right, we'll do a couple.
I feel like
Facebook
people
comments
should just reach out to Vacations with Justine, and I don't mind dropping that plug on the free show.
Drop it. Also, we have a really great Facebook group, facebook.com/group/BoboBoyArmy Worldwide LLC. It's fantastic. Great community. My favorite place on the internet. Just go to that URL, answer a few questions. We might let you in. It's constantly growing with new members, and we appreciate and love all of you. So thank you, and welcome to all the new members. Is this what you expected? Because it's probably better. Like, for instance, our boy Ryan Scripps. He's been posting a lot of just selfies and just like, what's up? Which I like. I like the roll call. It's like, yo, this is what I'm doing. And so this is a selfie of him, and then he just puts another all-day swimsuit day. Enjoy your Sunday. And I got a couple questions. All-day swimsuit day. I never even thought about it, but those days are awesome. Or you could
Those are great.
I mean, I guess it's different for women, but for guys to just wear board shorts or trunks all day and just, flip-flops, basically what Matt wore to work.
I had one of those last weekend. It's great.
But as like an all-day thing, it's cool. Like, it's just like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good day.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously feel the exact same way. You got yourself a hot tub, little poolside cocktail, jump in the pool for a little bit, swim under the waterfall, grab yourself a poolside lunch, read a little bit by the side of the pool, dip back in again. I mean, just keep it going, baby.
What kind of equipment are you rocking, Matt? Are you going board shorts? You going the trunks with the liner?
Shorts.
You go board shorts.
The liner. No liner. Get out.
You don't like the liner?
Ugh, no.
I kind of like the liner.
No, but I also wear boxers and not briefs. So I'm not interested in the.
Do public pools still care if you have liner or not? Because I remember back in the day, you had to like flash your liner to get in.
What
Chris, you were
the
molested.
fuck is that? That is
Chris,
not
that's
real.
definitely
That
not a
happened?
thing. That is definitely not a thing. You were molested, sir.
I had to show everybody my liner.
Chris.
I show everybody the like, oh,
The
these are
front or
Trump.
the back, or did you even have a choice in the matter?
Both.
Oh,
Well, when you take
Oh,
them off and
no.
hand it to the person, like it just
no.
no,
Chris,
it's
you were assaulted.
no, I was. You had to flash your liner. You never
sure
had to do
didn't.
that.
You sure
What?
didn't.
Like,
To
hey,
what
are those really
end?
trunks or what makes it? What's the difference between those and like basketball shorts? Then
Why do they care anyway?
I don't know. I don't know.
Matt, is Chris
Oh,
okay?
no. This is like, it's just shit just got real. This is some
You
sword and
guys have
scale
never
shit.
had to do that.
No,
Flash
never
your liner
in
at me?
my
Flash,
life.
just flat, like flip the waistband over. Like, oh yeah,
What
these
part
are.
of the van
are
was
trunks.
the guy in when he asked this question, Chris?
Christ.
What the fuck? Those
Are
were our
you
comments,
serious?
ladies and gentlemen.
Are you
We have to
serious?
consult an attorney.
100% serious.
I'm 100% serious, Chris.
never heard of
Flash
this.
your liner is not a sentence I've ever heard before this fucking podcast.
Just show the liner.
Was this every
No.
day to get on the bus? What
the
what
public
happened?
pool? Like you had to
Public
show the
pool.
lifeguard. Like you're just like, oh yeah, these
The
are trunks.
lifeguard.
And they're not.
What?
Whatchamacallit?
I don't like.
Because
But-
kids could just be wearing shorts, like regular shorts.
Cool, and then go swimming. What's the fucking? Are you gonna get
I
weighed
don't
down?
know why. I don't know why. It
Oh
always
my
confused
God.
me too.
Chris, this isn't your fault. I don't want you to take responsibility for what happened. Okay, it's just, it's not the kind of thing you hear every day.
Gary's face.
Oh my God.
Are you
It's just
okay?
hurting my soul right now. I don't.
Flash your liner?
You know,
Sir.
flash the liner.
That is 2 letters away from flashing your wiener, sir, and I am not okay with it.
One letter. It's
You're
one
right.
letter away. It's not even 2 letters, Matt. It's 1 letter away.
Chris,
Um,
Chris,
we're
I'm
gonna
going to
take-
ask you a simple question. Chris, I'm going to ask you a simple question. Let's say we want to change the rules for the Bobo Boy Army Worldwide LLC Facebook group. And now, instead of asking a few questions, you have to flash your liner. I don't think that's appropriate.
Yes, we'll
Army,
be prosecuted.
get my
Matt.
back.
Yes,
I
we will
know.
be prosecuted.
there are other people that they've.
Chris,
You can't.
Chris,
It-
we are going to hold on, Chris. We are going to take a
Then
break
why
in a
buy
moment.
why buy swim trunks? Why not
Hold
just
on.
go in your regular shorts?
Chris, we're going to take a break in a moment before we start recording Patreon, which you can get at patreon.com/watercooler. In the break, I want you to go tell Jenny the flash the liner story, and I want you to report back on what she says. Because
Okay.
she's going to be staring at you the exact same way we are, and she is going to be concerned for you. Buddy, are you okay?
I'm good. I'm just confused.
Wow.
Flash the liner.
Then
I
what?
mean-
why have the liner?
I
To
mean,
keep
some,
everything in the right
yeah,
place,
some
but that's
people
not. It's
want
not.
the
You don't have to.
support.
There's no proof of liner. What is this? A Russell Crowe movie? Flash
that, was
the
that
liner.
was the best Russell Crowe movie, Proof of Liner. I heard Dennis Quaid's relationship ended after it, though.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh.
I'm so confused. I
How
just
did
have
we
a
even
question.
get there? How did we even get there?
I don't even.
We were talking about
Ryan
board
had an all
shorts
swimsuit
days.
day. He had an all swimsuit day, and I was like, oh yeah, and back, and I was,
All
and then I
swimsuit
was just
day.
confused. I was confused by like,
Yeah.
why did we have to do that? You know,
Hey,
it's just
Chris,
You did
me
it.
too.
all right. Well, we're gonna
Those
end this
were our
podcast early
comments.
because I got a lot of thinking to do. So I will. I thank everybody for the comments. We'll be
If
back
this
at
was
Patreon.
Patreon, there'd be an outro right here. But
I'm going to report back. I'm gonna go inside and ask Jenny if that was weird or not. And I
guess
shall-
I
what?
think you know what.
It
All three of
was.
us. How about all three of us ask our
Yeah,
wives?
yeah, yeah.
Let's all tell. Let's all report
yeah,
back.
let's all report back.
'Cause there's no way I'm not telling Julie about this the second we leave.
100%, I'm going to tell Joy about this. Like,
All
I'm just
righty.
trying to
Well,
decide whether or not I should send help to Chris's home.
oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, thanks everybody for writing in. Thanks for that wonderful comment, Brian. And We'll be back for Patreon later this week. We love you. It feels just like a weird note to end it on, you know?
It is.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll be back for Patreon later this week. Thank you so much for listening. Why don't we get our plugs in real quick, and we'll be right back with Patreon. So, Gary, what do you suggest we want to check out?
Never flash anyone your liner. That's my plug.
Oh,
if someone asks you to flash your liner, find an adult. And I suppose youtube.com/reasonable doubt podcast. But it's amazing I just remembered that URL given what's going on.
All right. Matt, what about you?
Well, I will say patreon.com/watercooler for sure. And I also just want to plug bathing suits with outliners. And I understand that maybe you would be banned from certain places, but I think it's worth the risk. I think the liner is overrated.
We'll talk about it on Patreon.
Yeah.
I want to hear your argument there.
All right,
okay.
all right.
And then as for me, I'm gonna plug liners. I don't know. They feel like more like swimsuits to me, that like trunks. But I don't mind board shorts too. I'm happy to do board shorts as well. But I just felt like Team Liner needed some support. So
literally.
For Watercooler, we love you. Goodbye. Oh man.